everybody, and welcome to this revision video on the difference between mental health versus mental illness as part of the psychological well-being topic in Stage 1 psychology. So let's get started. So psychological well-being overall in psychology focuses on understanding and building human strength rather than just healing damage. So really the whole movement of psychological well-being and positive psychology is what it's also known as we can see here, is really looking at focusing on the good rather than just focusing on the bad. So it's founded on the belief that people want to live meaningful and fulfilling lives. So really looking at the scientific nature behind what will cause people to flourish, not just looking at treating mental illness, which of course is still extremely important, but focusing on, again, on the good rather than just focusing on the bad. So psychological well-being has a really big emphasis on preventing mental illness from developing in the first place, which is extremely important, especially in the world that we live in currently and going forward into the future. So this area of psychology is relatively new. It's only really gained significant popularity over the last 20 to 30 years, which I know sounds like a long time, but in science, it's really not very long at all. So we've still got a very long way to go in terms of scientific research and studies and statistics proving different psychological well-being techniques and flourishing techniques and so on. So positive psychology is the scientific study of the strengths and virtues that enable individuals and communities to thrive. So what's the difference between the two? Let's go through the definitions here. So mental health is a state of well-being in which individuals realize their own potential, can cope with normal stressors, which is stressful things of life, work productively, and is able to make a contribution to the community. So mental health is not the same as mental illness. Often they're interchangeable, or they're used incorrectly as the same thing when they're actually not. So mental illness, on the other hand, is characterized by behaviors, thoughts, and emotions that significantly impair work, study, or social functioning. So it includes a range of diagnosable conditions such as anxiety, depression, and substance abuse. Now the list does go on regarding mental illnesses. They're just some examples that we focus on in Stage 1 and 2 psychology. But there is a difference. So mental health is a person's just general well-being, and they're able to cope day to day, and they have a certain healthy level of resilience, and again can contribute to the community, whereas mental illness, as we can see here, is very different in terms of it's actually diagnosable and includes conditions, again, such as anxiety, depression, and substance abuse, which are unfortunately quite common. So the biopsychosocial model can be used to analyse mental health and mental illnesses by looking at factors that may influence the well-being of a person. So again, as we know, the biological components, what's going on in the body to influence the behaviour. So is there a hormone imbalance which may be contributing to someone's lack of mental health? Is there substance abuse going on which is making mental illness worse, and so on and so forth? The psycho obviously refers to the psychological aspects, so what's going on in the brain to influence behaviour. So this includes things like, again, memories, perceptions, emotions, so feeling emotions more intensely or not enough compared to others, and obviously having traumatic memories and so on, or going through bad life experience and remembering those traumatic memories, again, may influence behaviour as well, and our mental health and mental illness. And of course the social aspects. So what are the external factors that are influencing this person's behaviour? So is it because of the environment that they are in that's causing the mental health to deteriorate, or the people that they're around, a lack of support, a lack of love, care, etc. So when we look at mental health and mental illness, we have to also examine the biopsychosocial model as to the factors that may be making it better or making it worse. But in general, positive psychology or psychological well-being is looking at the positives. So we can also look at the biological positives. So looking at people who are maintaining a healthy diet and a healthy sleeping pattern will also biologically be contributing better to their mental well-being. Psychologically as well, so healthy range of emotions and memories and so on. And of course socially, do they have enough social support? Do they have access to support services if they need, etc. and so on. So just going back to the first slide, that is what psychological well-being focuses on. All right, and we've covered the difference between mental health and mental illness. So I hope you found this video useful, ladies and gentlemen. If you have any questions or concerns, let me know. Otherwise, happy revising.